When I opened my eyes, the ceiling was too white, the light too sharp. My head throbbed. I tried to move, but my hands weren't my hands. The skin was smoother, the nails cleaner. "Ethan?" A woman's voice cut through the haze. Cold, calm, dangerous. I turned. She stood near the window, long black hair, white suit, eyes that could cut steel. Claire Cole. The name hit me like a bullet. No, this wasn't real. She was a character from a novel I read. The woman whose husband ruined her life? I swallowed. Claire? Her lips curved, but not in kindness. "So you remember my name? Impressive. After everything you did?" "I did?" My throat felt dry. She tilted her head, studying me. Dante played dumb. "It doesn't suit you anymore." I wanted to deny it, but something strange pulled at my mind, memories that weren't mine. A hand slamming on a desk. A woman crying. My own voice. Cruel, mocking. "Stop," I whispered. She frowned. "Stop what?" "Those memories, they're not." Her eyes narrowed. "You're thinking too loud again." "What?" She crossed her arms. "I can hear you. Every thought, every lie, every little excuse spinning in your head." I froze. "You're joking." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Try thinking something. Anything. This can't be real." Her lips twitched. "It is." I took a step back, my pulse racing. "You can really, yes, Ethan. I can hear every single word you don't say." I pressed my palms to my temples. No, this isn't happening. "I was reading." There was an accident. Then her eyes softened for half a second, then hardened again. "You're acting different today. Is this another trick?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. The truth was too insane somehow. I'd woken up inside Ethan Cole's body, the villain of a story I once hated. The man she despised. I whispered. "I'm not him." Gaze sharpened. "Then who are you?" "I don't know." Silence stretched between us. Outside the window, the city lights blurred in the rain. Finally, she said, "You expect me to believe that?" "No," I admitted. "I wouldn't believe me either." She walked closer, heels clicking like gunshots. "You look like my husband. You sound like him. You think I'll forget what you did just because you act lost?" "I'm not acting." "Then what are you doing, Ethan?" She hissed. "Trying to make me pity you again?" Her voice cracked on the last word. I saw the hurt behind her, anger and guilt I didn't earn twisted in my chest. "I deserve your hatred," I said quietly, "even if I'm not the same person." She blinked, caught off guard. "You're confessing now?" "I don't even know what I did," I admitted. "But I can feel it too, her pain, his cruelty. It's in my head like poison." Her eyes searched mine. For a heartbeat, the air between us softened. Then she looked away. "You're pathetic." I almost smiled. "Probably." A knock broke the silence. "Sir," a man said, stepping inside. "Your meeting's in 10 minutes?" Lucas's face young, sharp, loyal but wary. I knew him too from the book. Ethan's assistant. Claire turned cold again. "You should go. Don't keep your investors waiting." "Can't," I said. "I don't even know what this company does." Lucas blinked. "Are you serious?" Claire smirked faintly. "You'll figure it out. You always do." When they left, I stood staring at my reflection in the glass wall. The face staring back was handsome, ruthless, unfamiliar. "Ethan Cole? The man everyone hated." I whispered to the empty room. "Why me?" A voice echoed in my head, calm and bitter. "Because villains don't get second chances." I turned, but no one was there. Just me and her voice still in my head, faint and distant. Later that night, found her in the living room, sipping wine, eyes red from exhaustion. I hesitated by the door. "Claire." She didn't look up. "What do you want?" "To apologize?" I said softly. "For what?" She snapped. "You don't even know which sin you're sorry for." "I know I hurt you. I can feel it every time you look at me." Her hand trembled slightly. "You think guilt will fix what you broke?" "No, but maybe understanding will." She stared into her glass. "You can't undo the past, Ethan." "I know." But maybe I can stop being him. She laughed bitterly. You change? You can't even stop lying to yourself. I'm not lying. Ch. She looked up sharply. Then tell me the truth. I took a deep breath. I don't remember everything, but I know one thing: I don't want to be that man anymore. Her expression flickered pain, disbelief, maybe something else. Too late. You already are. Then what do I do? She set down her glass. You live with what you've done. Her words cut deeper than any blade. I nodded slowly. Then I'll live with it. I started to leave, but she spoke again, soft, almost human. If you're not lying, prove it. How? Don't think you can earn forgiveness. Just act like you want it. I met her gaze. Then I'll start now. Her eyes glimmered faintly before she looked away. We'll see. As I walked down the hall, her voice echoed in my head again, steady, cold, unrelenting. I can hear you, Ethan, and in that moment, I realized something worse than dying. I could never hide again. Asterisk sign here, Claire said, sliding a stack of documents across the glass table. Her voice was calm, but her eyes didn't match us behind glass. I took the pen, my hand shaking slightly. What are these? Financial transfers, she replied. Routine work. Try not to ruin it this time. Her words stung more than they should have. You'd think I'd do that again? She didn't even look up. You already did. I wanted to argue, but her expression killed the thought. She wasn't angry. She was finished. Claire, I said quietly. I know I've made mistakes, but she cut me off. Mistakes? Her lips curved faintly. That's what you call sleeping with your secretary? The pen nearly slipped from my fingers. I what? You don't remember? She asked, tilting her head. Or are you pretending again? My mind spun. The novel, Ethan cheated on her. I swallowed hard. I wouldn't stop thinking, she snapped. It's loud. I froze. You can still hear me? Always, she said. And I've heard every pathetic excuse running through your head all morning. I'm not making excuses, I said, my voice low. I didn't save it, she said coldly. You can't even lie properly anymore. Her tone was pure venom. But her eyes, there was something tired in them, something wounded. I leaned forward. If I really did that to you, then I'm sorry. She laughed softly, without humor. You think sorry fixes betrayal? No, but it's all I have. Then you have nothing. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up, her tone instantly softer. Yes, Mr. Hahn, send it over. We'll finalize after lunch. I recognized the name Mr. Hahn, her father's lawyer. The man Ethan had ruined. When she hung up, I asked, You still work with him? He's family, she said simply. Unlike you, I flinched. I guess I deserve that. She looked at me then, really looked. You deserve worse, I sighed. Then why keep me here? You could divorce me, take everything, walk away. Almost dangerous. Because I want to see what kind of man you are when everything you've done finally catches up to you. So this was it, punishment. Not fire, not screaming, just slow, silent torture. Fine, I said. Then let me earn your hatred properly. Her eyebrow rose. Earn it. By proving I'm not him, she gave a sharp laugh. You don't get to rewrite history. I'm not trying to, I said. I'm just trying to live with it. For a second, she hesitated. Then she turned away. Go home, Ethan. You're exhausting to look at. I stood but didn't move. You still wear your ring. Her hand froze. Habit. Or hope. I said before I could stop myself. Her eyes met mine, and I felt the weight of her thoughts pressing into my skull. Don't you dare try to sound sincere. I'm not pretending, I whispered. Liar. She said softly. The elevator doors opened, and a young woman stepped out. Blonde, stylish to confident. Mr. Cole, she said with a smile. I finished the report. Mia, Claire said coldly. The air tightened instantly. I remembered Noathan's mistress. Mia blinked between us, lips curling. Good afternoon, Mrs. Cole. Claire's smile was razor-thin. Still here, Mia? I thought you'd quit after sleeping your way to the top. Mia's voice turned sugary. Oh, come on. We both know Ethan doesn't like being lonely. My stomach twisted. That's enough, I said sharply. Both women froze. Claire's expression darkened. Why defend her? Guilty conscience? I'm defending you, I said quickly. You shouldn't have to listen to garbage like that, Mia scoffed. Wow, new personality today. Get out, I said. She blinked. Excuse me? You heard me, I said, my voice firm. You're fired. Claire stared at me, stunned. Mia laughed, but there was fear in her eyes. You'll regret that. Maybe, I said, but not today. When she stormed off, the silence left behind was sharp enough to hurt. Claire crossed her arms. What was that performance? It wasn't a performance. Then what? Respect, I said simply. Something I should have shown you long ago. Her eyes searched mine again, as if trying to find the lie. You really don't remember any of it, do you? No, I admitted. But I remember how it feels to lose everything. She hesitated. For a moment, her mask cracked. Then maybe you're finally getting what you deserve. Maybe, I said quietly. But even if you never forgive me, I'll still try. Stop saying things like that. You'll make me think you mean them. I wanted to tell her I did. But the way she looked at me like a stranger wearing her husband's skin silenced me. She walked past me toward the door. Mr. Hahn's waiting. Don't be late. As she left, her thoughts brushed against my mind again, bitter, trembling. I hate you. So why can't I stop listening? I stood there, alone, hearing those words echo long after she was gone. The dreams kept coming. I saw my hand grabbing Claire's wrist, too tight, her voice breaking. Let me go, Ethan. Then darkness, laughter that didn't belong to me. When I woke, my chest ached, like I'd been the one she begged. I found her in the kitchen, scrolling through her phone. You didn't sleep again, she said without looking up. I didn't deserve to, I muttered. Her eyes flicked up. Guilt looks good on you, but it's late. I keep seeing things, I said. Memories. His memories. Shh. She set her phone down. His? I told you, I said quietly. I'm not him. Then stop calling yourself by his name. That's the problem, I said. Everyone else still does. She poured coffee. And you think I should care? No, I said. I just wish I knew who I really am. She sipped her drink. You're Ethan Cole, the man who ruined everything he touched. I almost laughed. You say it like a fact. It is a fact, she said sharply. You don't get to erase it just because you feel bad now. I'm not asking to erase it. I'm trying to understand it. She studied me for a moment, like I was something fragile she didn't want to touch. Then start by remembering what you did. I'm trying, I said. But it's like watching someone else's life. I feel the emotions, but they're not mine. Convenient, she said coldly. I wish it were. I whispered. Her expression softened for half a second, then hardened again. Don't do that. Do what? Sound like you care? She said. It makes me think you might mean it. I do mean it, I said. Every word. She pushed away from the counter. You're not fooling anyone. Not me. Not yourself. I sighed. Maybe not. But if I can feel the guilt for what he did, doesn't that make me different? She stopped walking. Say that again? I said if I can feel? No, she interrupted. Say it the way you thought it. I blinked. You heard me? Her voice dropped to a whisper. I hear everything, Ethan. Every thought that crawls through your head. Then you know I'm not lying. She looked away. I know you believe you're not. I moved closer. Then tell me what I did. Every terrible thing. She turned back, fire in her eyes. You humiliated me. You lied. You destroyed my father's company to save your own image. And when I begged you to stop, you told me I was weak. Each word hit like a hammer. I don't remember saying that. But you did, she whispered. And I hear it every time I close my eyes. I'm sorry, I said. I'll never. Don't say never, she snapped. You said that before too. I looked at the floor. Then what do I say? Nothing, she said coldly. Just stop talking like you're someone else. I am someone else. Prove it. How? See, Dr. Vale, she said. Maybe a professional can explain why your head's broken. I don't need therapy, I started, but she cut me off. Yes, you do. And maybe I do too. That was the closest thing to kindness she'd given me in weeks. Dr. Aaron Vale's office smelled of paper and mint. He watched me with calm eyes, pen tapping on his notepad. So, he said, you believe you're not Ethan Cole? I know I'm not, I said. I remember a different life reading a novel about him. Then I woke up as him, nodded slowly. And your wife hears your thoughts? Yes. Do you think that's possible? I didn't think waking up as a fictional villain was possible either, I said. He smiled faintly. Fair point. I stared at the floor. She hates me, but I can't blame her. Why? Because even if I didn't do those things, she has to live with the man who did. He leaned forward. You sound like you care about her. I do, I said. That's the problem. Maybe it's not a problem, he said gently. Maybe it's your way of healing. Healing her or me? Both. I left his office more confused than when I entered. That evening, I found Claire on the balcony, talking to someone on the phone. Double quotes, yes, Anna, she said. I'm fine. No, he's not the same. He's weird. Like a stranger wearing Ethan's skin. She turned when she noticed me. What do you want? Just air, I said. She hung up. That was Anna. She thinks you're manipulating me again. She wrong? I don't know, she said quietly. You tell me. I'm not trying to manipulate you, I said. I'm just trying to make sense of why I'm here. Maybe punishment, she said softly. Maybe mercy. Mercy would have let me forget. And maybe you don't deserve mercy. I met her eyes. Maybe not. But I'm still going to try. She laughed bitterly. Try what? To be human? To be better? I said. Her gaze lingered. You really don't remember the things you did? No. Then maybe that's worse, she murmured. Because I remember everything. I stepped closer. If you can hear my thoughts, then hear this I'm not the same person anymore. Her lips curved into a cold smile. Then who are you? I hesitated. I don't know. She nodded once, eyes unreadable. That's what I thought. And for the first time, I realized she wasn't just angry. She was scared that I might actually be telling the truth. Asterisk, the boardroom felt colder than usual. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was the way everyone stared silent, judging, hungry. Richard leaned back in his chair, smirking. So, Ethan, anything to say for yourself before we start voting? I looked around the table. Half the faces there used to smile at me. Now they just watched like vultures. Say about what? He slid a tablet across the table. Headlines screamed. CEO Ethan Cole accused of fraud, embezzlement, and corporate sabotage. My throat went dry. Where did this come from? Richard smiled wider. A journalist named Grace. Seems she found your skeletons. Not mine, I thought. His. Still pretending innocence? He said, That's cute. I didn't leak any data, I said. I've been fixing the messy. I stopped. I couldn't say it out loud. Who? Richard asked, feigning confusion. He? You mean yourself? The laughter around the room was sharp, cruel. Claire sat across from me, perfectly composed. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. I turned to her. You believe this? She met my gaze calmly. It doesn't matter what I believe. The numbers do. Her voice cut through me worse than any accusation. Richard clapped his hands. Well, if our dear CEO has nothing left to say, I propose a motion for temporary suspension pending investigation. Seconded. Another voice said. I tried to speak, but Claire's thoughts brushed against mine, soft and cold. Don't fight. Not yet. I swallowed my pride. Do what you have to. Richard looked almost disappointed. No dramatic speech? No threats? I gave him a tired smile. You'll get your entertainment later. The vote was unanimous. Even Claire's hand rose at the end. That was the part that hurt the most. The moment the meeting ended, reporters swarmed outside the building. Cameras flashed. Questions flew like bullets. Mr. Cole, Is it true you falsified accounting data? Did you threaten your investors? Is your wife aware of your crimes? Each word was another cut. I didn't answer any of them. I just walked through the chaos until I reached my car. When I got home, Claire was already there, standing by the window. Wine glass in hand. You didn't defend me? I said quietly. I wasn't supposed to, she said. You needed to see what happens when the mask falls off. I'm not wearing a mask. Her lips twitched. Then why do I still see him when I look at you? Because you want to, I said. You want me to be him so you can hate me freely. Her eyes flickered. Maybe I do. Silence filled the room. Outside, the city lights shimmered like ghosts. I finally said, they're tearing the company apart. Then let them, she replied. You built it on lies. It deserves to fall. I didn't build it, I said. He did. I just woke up in the rubble. She set the glass down. You keep saying that, but you still live in his house, drive his car, spend his money. Because I don't know how to stop being him. She stepped closer. Then stop pretending you're the victim. I'm not, I said. I'm the consequence. For a moment, she looked startled. Then her voice softened, barely a whisper. Maybe you are. I almost reached for her, but she turned away. That night, I stayed in the office long after everyone left. My nameplate still sat on the deskathon coal. CEO. I stared at it until the letters blurred. Claire's voice echoed faintly in my head. You deserved this. I whispered into the silence. I do. I deserve every bit of it. The air felt heavy, like even the walls were listening. Hours passed. Rain started to fall against the glass. My phone buzzed a message from Grace, the journalist. Truth always finds its way out, I typed back. So does regret. Then I deleted it before sending. The door opened behind me. Claire's reflection appeared in the glass. She didn't move closer. You're still here, she said. I can't leave, I admitted. Not yet. She folded her arms. You think sitting in the dark will fix your soul? No. But it helps me remember what I broke. Her eyes softened for a heartbeat. Then her voice turned to ice again. If you think you deserve this, then take it. All of it. I looked up. I already am. She stared at me for a long moment, then walked out without another word. The door closed behind her, and I sat there alone, surrounded by the ruins of someone else's sins, waiting for the taste of karma to finish its course. The office felt emptier than usual, like everyone was waiting for the final collapse. I called out, Lucas, close the door. He hesitated, then did. You wanted to see me? Yes, I said. I know someone's been leaking information to Richard. I need the truth. Lucas didn't flinch. Then you already know. My stomach tightened. It's you. He met my eyes without shame. It's me. Why? I asked. You've been with me for years. Used me for years, he shot back. You think I forgot how you screamed at me? Humiliated me? Took credit for my work? That wasn't me, I said quietly. He laughed bitterly. Don't start that again. You've been saying that to everyone. You're a different person now, right? Enlightened. Redeemed? I'm trying to be, I said. You wouldn't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly, he said. You ruined lives and thought a few apologies could fix it. I never asked you to forgive me, I said. But I didn't deserve this. Stepped closer, anger in his eyes. You deserved worse. You destroyed people, Ethan. I just made sure karma didn't take its time. You sided with Richard, I said. He'll use you and toss you aside. Maybe, he said. But at least I get to watch you lose. I stared at him, this man who once defended me from everyone else. I could still remember his loyalty, the way he'd always said, you can count on me, sir. Now he looked at me like I was something rotten. I said softly, if you wanted revenge, you should have faced me, not stabbed me in the back. He smirked. You taught me how. The words hit hard. My fist moved before I thought. The punch landed square on his jaw. He stumbled back, eyes wide. You hit me. I clenched my hand, trembling. Not because of what you did. Because I hate who I used to be. He touched his lip, blood on his fingers. You really have changed, he said. You used to hit because you liked it? It's not this time, I said. This time, I wanted to stop the echo. The door opened suddenly. Claire stood there, eyes wide. What's going on? Lucas wiped his mouth. Ask your husband. Ethan. He betrayed me, I said. Lucas laughed. Oh, that's rich. The master of betrayal finally tasting it. Enough, Claire said sharply. He turned to her. You should thank me, Mrs. Cole. I'm just finishing what he started. Get out. Lucas hesitated. He deserves to burn, said out. She repeated, voice cold enough to freeze him. He grabbed his jacket and stormed out, slamming the door. The room went still. Claire looked at me. You hit him? I know. Why? Because every time I see people like him, I see myself, and I hate it. She stared at me for a long moment. You're trembling. I'm fine. No, you're not, she said softly. You look like you just fought a ghost. Maybe I did. She took a cautious step closer. You didn't have to hit him. I know, I said again. But I couldn't stop myself. He kept throwing my past in my face, and I saw everything I used to be in his eyes. Her voice lowered. And what did you see? Arrogance, I said. Cruelty. The man who thought the world owed him forgiveness. She was silent for a while. Then, almost whispering, she said, You've changed. The words didn't sound like praise, more like disbelief. I looked up at her. You mean that? She hesitated. I don't know. But for the first time, I saw fear in your eyes instead of pride. Fear. Yes, she said. And maybe that's what makes you human again. I didn't know how to respond. My heart was pounding too hard. She sighed. You can't undo what you did, Ethan. But maybe you can stop being the man who did it. I've been trying, I said. I know, she said. But trying isn't enough if the world keeps collapsing around you. I can rebuild, I said. Not alone, she whispered. And not while you're still fighting yourself. I wanted to ask what she meant. But she was already walking toward the door, Claire, I said. She stopped. Not turning around? Do you believe me now? I asked. That I'm not the same man? She was silent for a long time. Then, she said, I believe you want to be different. I just don't know if the world will let you. When she left, I sank into my chair. The city lights outside flickered against the glass. Fractured and broken, just like everything inside me. The company was bleeding. The people were leaving, and somewhere deep down, I realized the worst enemy wasn't Richard, or Lucas, or anyone else. It was me. Asterisk when I heard Claire had collapsed during a meeting. I didn't think I ran by the time I reached the hospital. She was pale against the sheets, an IV dripping beside her. Dr. Vale stood near the bed, clipboard in hand. She's exhausted, he said. Stress? Lack of sleep? Probably not eating enough? Will she be okay? I asked. She needs rest. Real rest, he said, and less emotional pressure. I knew that last part was aimed at me. When he left, I sat beside her. Her face looked softer in the sterile light, but her lips were dry, her brow furrowed even in sleep. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? I whispered. Her thoughts brushed faintly against mine because someone has to keep everything standing. I can help, said quietly. You've done enough, her voice echoed in my head. I smiled weakly. I'm not sure that's true. Hours passed. Machines beeped softly. I stayed there, unmoving. At some point, Anna arrived, clutching a bouquet. She's still unconscious. She asked, Yeah. Anna looked at me warily. She wouldn't want you here, I know. Then why stay? Because if I leave, I'll start thinking about all the ways I broke her. Anna sighed. You don't make this easy, you know that? Nothing about me ever was. She sat across from me. She still cares, you know. She just doesn't know what to do with that. I don't deserve her care, I said. Maybe not. But she's human. And humans remember the good, even when they try to forget it. I looked at Claire's still face. What good did I ever give her? Anna smiled faintly. Once, you made her believe in love. That's not nothing. I swallowed hard. Then I ruined it, Miss Anna said softly. But maybe now, you can start fixing it. She stood to leave. I'll tell her you stayed. She'll be angry. She'll still listen, Anna said, then walked out. The night grew quiet. The hospital lights dimmed. I stared at Claire's hand resting near mine, trembling before I reached out. I don't know if you can hear me, I whispered, but I'm sorry. Her fingers twitched faintly. I closed my eyes. I don't even know who I am anymore. Maybe I'm just the ghost of the man who hurt you. Maybe this is my punishment to love you and never earn it. Her breathing steadied, slow and even. I wish I could rewrite it, I said. Go back to the start. Stop the words before they left his mouth. Stop the mistakes before they scarred you. In my head, I felt her presence again. Weak but rewrite. The past. I know, I whispered. But maybe I can still change the ending. Silence. Then another faint thought. Why would you want to? Because I can't stand watching you break because of me. Her thoughts trembled. You're not supposed to care. I tried not to, I said softly. But every time you look at me, I feel like I'm watching the version of you he destroyed. And I hate him for it. I hate me for it, no reply. Just the sound of rain tapping against the window. I leaned closer, my voice barely above a breath. You once told me love doesn't die, it just changes shape. Maybe this is what mine turned into. Guilt that still loves you. Her eyelids fluttered, but she didn't wake. I know you can hear my thoughts, I whispered. So hear this: I would trade every lie, every dollar, every ounce of pride just to see you smile again. The machine beeped steadily, the rhythm of a heart that refused to stop. Morning came quietly. Sunlight slipped through the blinds, brushing across her face. Her eyes opened slowly, dazed but aware. You're still here, she said, her voice raspy. I couldn't leave, you should have. I know. She studied me. You didn't sleep. I didn't want to, I said. I was afraid if I closed my eyes, you wouldn't be here when I opened them, she sighed. You're impossible. I've been called worse. Her gaze softened. Why do you keep trying, Ethan? You think this makes up for anything? No, I said. Nothing ever will. But maybe it makes the pain mean something. Pain doesn't need meaning, she said quietly. It just needs to end. Then let me help end it. She looked at me for a long time. You really mean that? Yes. She closed her eyes again, not from anger this time, but exhaustion. You're too late. Maybe, I said, but I'm still here. A faint smile touched her lips before she drifted back to sleep. I sat there, my chest tight, my mind racing. For the first time, she hadn't pushed me away. And somehow, that scared me more than her hatred ever did. Because, forgiveness real, forgiveness meant, she might start to see me as human, and I wasn't sure I could live up to that. The first time I heard her voice again, I almost didn't recognize it. Miss me. I froze in the hallway outside my office. The sound came from behind me, smooth, amused, poisonous. Mia, I said slowly. She smiled, stepping closer in her red heels. You still remember my name? I'm touched. What are you doing here? Relax, she said, brushing imaginary dust off her sleeve. Just visiting an old friend? We were never friends. Lovers then. She teased. Although, judging by your face, you'd rather forget that part. My jaw tightened. Say what you came to say. She leaned against my desk, crossing her arms. You're in trouble, Ethan. I have documents, emails, recordings, receipts. Proof of every dirty deal you made before your little personality switch. I took a slow breath. You're bluffing. She smiled wider. Am I? Grace, that journalist, would pay a fortune for this. What do you want? Money, she said simply. 5 million, cash. I laughed softly. You think I still have that kind of money? The board froze my assets. Then figure it out, she said, her voice sharpening. Because if I don't get it by Friday, your little redemption act ends. I studied her face, the same arrogance, the same hunger. You're not doing this for money, I said. You're doing it because you want revenge. Her eyes flashed. You think you're the only one who gets to hate? You used me. You promised me the world and left me to rot when it burned down. I'm not the same man, I said quietly. She laughed coldly. You keep saying that, but all I see is the same liar wearing guilt like perfume. I'm telling the truth. She leaned closer, whispering, "Then prove it. Pay me. Show me that your conscience has a price." Before I could answer, the door opened. Claire stepped inside, calm as ice. "Am I interrupting?" Mia's smirk faltered. "Mrs. Cole, how lovely to see you again." Claire's eyes moved between us. I didn't expect to find my husband alone with his ex-mistress. "She's not," I began, but Claire held up a hand. "Don't," she said. "I already heard your thoughts." Mia raised an eyebrow. "Still playing that telepathic wife card, huh?" Claire ignored her. "What do you want, Mia?" "Money," Mia said. "Unless you'd prefer your husband's crimes on the front page?" Claire's expression didn't change. "You must think I care about his reputation." Mia hesitated. "You don't?" "No," Claire said. "But I do care about wasting time." Mia frowned. "You're not taking this seriously." "I am," Claire said softly. "I just don't negotiate with parasites." I stepped forward. "Claire, quiet," she said. "You've done enough," Mia scoffed. "You think you can stop me?" Claire walked closer until they were face to face. "Try me." The tension in the room was suffocating. Mia's confidence cracked, just a little. "Fine," she said, backing up. "Maybe I'll let Grace decide how much this story's worth." Claire tilted her head. "You won't." "Why not?" "Because," Claire said, her voice steady, "if you expose him, you expose yourself. Those recordings, those deals, you were part of them. You'd go down with him." Mia's smirk vanished. "You're bluffing," Claire said. "You know that." Mia's silence confirmed it. Claire nodded toward the door. "Security's on the way. Leave now, or I'll let them escort you." Mia's eyes flicked to me. "You're really going to let her talk to me like that?" I met her gaze. "You heard her." Something flickered in her expression: anger, disbelief, maybe even regret. "You'll regret this," she said. "I already regret everything," I replied. She turned and walked out just as a guard appeared at the door. "Sir, it's fine," I said. "Let her go." When the door closed, the silence between Claire and me felt heavier than before. She didn't look at me when she said, "You really do attract disasters." I didn't call her here.
"I know."
I exhaled. "Thank you for handling it." She finally looked up, her eyes softer now. "I didn't do it for you then." "Why?" "Because I wasn't going to let her tear apart what's left of this company," she said. "Even if it's barely standing, you still care," I said quietly. Her gaze held mine for a moment. Maybe I care too much. I felt the thought ripple in my head. Why can't I stop protecting you? I swallowed hard. "Claire, don't," she said, turning away. "Just don't." But as she left, I saw her shoulders tremble, ever so slightly. That moment, her standing between me and the past felt unreal and cruel. Because maybe, despite everything, she still loved me. And that meant I was breaking her heart all over again. Asterisk, the boardroom was too quiet. That kind of quiet that means judgment's already been passed. Richard stood at the head of the table, wearing the kind of grin that made me want to break something. "Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin?" I didn't speak. I already knew how this would end. He gestured toward the screen. Evidence of financial mismanagement, unethical mergers, and internal leaks. All under Ethan Cole's leadership. "That wasn't me," I said. He smirked. "It's convenient how you keep saying that." I glanced around. The faces I once commanded now looked away. No allies. "No friends. Vote," Richard said. Hands rose, one after another, clean, decisive. Even Claire's. My voice came out low. "You're voting me out," Richard laughed. "No, Ethan, we're freeing the company from you." When the meeting ended, no one looked at me. My chair scraped against the marble as I stood, the sound loud enough to echo. I walked out slowly. The hallway lights seemed dimmer, or maybe that was just me. Outside the building, reporters swarmed like flies. "Mr. Cole, how does it feel to lose your position? Is it true your wife supported the vote against you? Will you face criminal charges?" I kept walking, ignoring the cameras, the flashes, the chaos. Claire was waiting by the car. Her expression was unreadable. "So that's it," I said. "They finally got what they wanted." They didn't need to work that hard, she replied. You handed it to them yourself. Her words stung because they were true. You voted too, she nodded. Yes, why? Because you needed to see what it feels like to lose everything you built. I didn't build it, I said bitterly. He did. I just inherited the ashes. She looked away. Call it whatever you want. But now you know what I felt when you destroyed my world. The wind carried her words like a verdict. I let out a shaky laugh. Now you understand what I felt, she said again. Softer this time. I met her eyes. I guess we're even. She didn't smile. You really think pain balances itself like a ledger? Doesn't it? I said. You lost your company, your trust, your peace. Now it's my turn. No, she said. You're just starting to feel what it's like to live without control. Her voice was calm. But I could feel the storm under it. We stood there in silence as reporters shouted from a distance. Cameras flashing behind the security line. I whispered, What happens now? You disappear for a while, she said. Let the world forget you. And you. She hesitated. I'll rebuild what you broke. With Richard. She met my gaze. With whoever doesn't remind me of the past. I laughed quietly. That narrows it down. She sighed. You still think this is about revenge, isn't it? It's about closure, she said. For both of us. Closure doesn't look like this. Then tell me what it looks like, she challenged. I looked at her, at the woman who'd once trusted me, loved me, hated me, and now stood like a stranger with my heart in her hands. It looks like forgiveness, I said. Her eyes softened for half a second. Then she said, You don't get to ask for that yet. I'm not asking, I said. I'm just saying it's the only thing left worth chasing. She stepped closer, her voice dropping. You talk about forgiveness like it's some reward at the end of suffering. It's not. It's what comes when there's nothing left to destroy. And are we there yet? I asked. Her silence was the only answer. A security guard approached. Ma'am, do you need assistance? She shook her head. No, we're done here. Claire, I said, please. She turned away. You'll survive this, Ethan. You always do. Her words were final, like a door closing. I watched her walk toward the car. Her heels clicked on the pavement, steady and sharp. Something in me broke quietly as she opened the door. Her thoughts reached me, not loud, but clear. Now you understand what I felt. I almost smiled. Guess we're even, I said under my breath. But before she got in, I heard another thought, one that wasn't meant for me. No, we're not. The car door shut, leaving me standing there with the echoes of everything I'd lost. The crowd's noise returned, distant and meaningless. Cameras flashed, questions blurred, but I didn't hear them anymore. For the first time, I understood what it meant to fall not from grace, but from the illusion of who I thought I was, and this time, there was no one left to catch me. I found her on the balcony that night, staring out at the city like she was trying to forget it existed. Claire, I said. She didn't turn. You shouldn't be here. I needed answers. Her shoulders stiffened. About what? About you, I said. About the truth, she sighed softly. You think you can handle it now? I've already lost everything. What else is there to break? She turned then, her eyes glinting in the moonlight. Fine. Ask. When did you know? I asked quietly. Know what? That I wasn't him. Her silence was my answer. You knew from the beginning, I said. She didn't deny it. The moment I heard your thoughts, she whispered, they were different, softer, afraid. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't believe it at first, she said. I thought it was another manipulation. Another game. I told you I wasn't lying. I told you I couldn't trust you. I took a step closer. You could have said something. She shook her head. If I did, you would have tried to prove it. You would have said all the right words, made all the right gestures, just like before. I needed to know if it was real. So you tested me, I said bitterly. Yes. How long? Every day, she said softly. Every thought I heard, every apology, every self-loathing whisper, I listened. I waited for what? For you to stop performing and start feeling? I let out a hollow laugh. And did I pass? Her eyes glimmered. You broke my heart all over again. That's how I knew it was real. I didn't understand. How does pain prove anything? Because only someone who feels can hurt that deeply, she said. Ethan never felt anything but pride. The name made my stomach twist. So all this time you knew I wasn't him? And you still hated me? She looked down. I didn't hate you. I hated that I wanted to believe you. Then why keep me around? Because I needed to know if love could survive through guilt. Her voice cracked on the last word, and for the first time, I saw tears slip down her face. Claire, she wiped them quickly. Don't look at me like that. I'm not fragile. I never thought you were, I said. You were always the strong one. She gave a broken laugh. Strong. I've spent years listening to lies. Everyone's lies, not just yours. Do you know what it's like to hear what people really think of you? To never escape their voices? No, I whispered. But I can imagine. It's a curse, she said quietly. I used to think it made me powerful. Now I know it just made me lonely. Her words cut deep. I'd always seen her gift as something terrifying, but now it sounded tragic. I said softly, maybe that's why I was sent here to understand. Understand what? That you weren't the only one being punished, I said. You were cursed to hear lies. I was cursed to live inside one. She stared at me, tears still in her eyes. You think this is fate? I think it's something close, I said. Because if it isn't, then all this pain was for nothing. She looked at me for a long moment, then whispered, I never stopped loving you, you know. I just couldn't stop hearing the old you in my head. I know, I said. I could feel it. Every time you looked at me, I could feel what you were trying to forget. She smiled faintly through her tears. You talk like forgiveness is easy. It's not, I said. It's just necessary. Silence fell again, heavy but peaceful. Finally, she whispered, So what now? Now, I said, you stop listening to the past. She looked at me one last time, eyes soft and tired. And you? I start forgiving the ghost who ruined us. The night breeze carried her quiet laugh. Then maybe, after all this time, we're finally hearing each other? For once, her thoughts were silent, and that silence felt like mercy. Asterisk, the hospital room smelled like rain and antiseptic. Machines beeped steadily beside me, their rhythm like a countdown. Claire sat in the chair near my bed, hands clasped tightly. You're awake, she said softly. I didn't want to sleep, I whispered. Feels like if I do, I won't wake up.
House.
Her eyes glimmered. Don't say that. It's true, I said. The doctors told you, didn't they? She hesitated. Yes. How long? They don't know, she said. Days, maybe less. Laughed weakly. Figures. I finally figure out how to be human, and the clock runs out. She squeezed my hand. Stop. I can't, I said. There's too much left unsaid. You've said enough apologies. This isn't an apology, I whispered. It's a thank you, she frowned. For what? For staying. For seeing me? For not walking away, even when you should have. Her voice cracked. I tried. I couldn't, I know I said. I felt it every time you looked at me. Her thumb brushed my knuckles. You're cold. Guess that's what dying feels like, I murmured. Don't joke, she said sharply. I'm not, I said. I'm just trying to make it easier for you. Tears welled in her eyes. You think this is easy? No, I whispered. But maybe it's necessary. She looked at me for a long time, then whispered, I forgive you. The words landed like a warm weight in my chest. You mean that? Yes, she said. I forgive you. Closed my eyes, breathing slowly. Then maybe I can die now. Her grip tightened. Don't you dare. I don't have a choice. You always have a choice, she said fiercely. You chose to change. You chose to fight. I chose you, I said softly. And I'd choose you again. Her tears finally fell. Why now? Why at the end? Because endings make everything honest, I whispered. And I need you to hear this while I still can. She bent closer. Then say it. I took a shaky breath. I love you, Claire. Not as penance, not as redemption. Just love. Her forehead rested against mine. I know you heard it. I felt it, she said. Every thought. Every word you never said. I smiled weakly. Maybe being the villain wasn't so bad if it led me to you. Her breath hitched. Don't talk like you're leaving. I'm already halfway gone, I murmured. But at least this time, I'm not alone. She brushed her lips against my forehead. You're not. Machines beeped slower. My chest ached, but it was a strangely gentle pain, like a door closing. Do you regret it? She asked softly. No, I said. I regret what he did, but I don't regret loving you. Her hand trembled in mine. I don't want this to be the end. Then don't let it be, I whispered. Her eyes searched mine. What does that mean? Carry me forward, I said. Turn my ruin into something better. Don't let the world make you bitter. I can't do this without you. You've always done everything without me, I said. You're stronger than you think. She shook her head. Not for this. I managed a weak smile. Then follow me later. She stared at me, stunned. I closed my eyes, my voice barely audible. You said once that love doesn't die, it changes shape. Maybe now it's your turn to change. She pressed her lips to my forehead again. Then I'll follow you even if it's in another story. The words echoed inside my head, clear and soft. My breath slowed. You heard my last thought, didn't you? Yes, she whispered. Gratitude, love, regret. All of it's yours, I said. Her tears fell on my skin. You're cruel, she whispered. You waited until now to give me everything. I was afraid, I murmured. Afraid if I gave it sooner, I'd lose it. You never lost me, she said. Even when I hated you, I smiled faintly. Then maybe the villain finally won something. Her hand cupped my cheek. You're not a villain anymore. Maybe, I said. But I gotta die loved. That's enough. The beeping slowed further. My body felt weightless. Stay with me, she said. I'm here, I whispered. Always. Light blurred at the edges of my vision. The room faded, but her face stayed clear. Her eyes locked on mine. I'm not ready, she said. You will be, I murmured. You've always been ready. Her lips trembled. I love you. I know, I said. Thank you. Darkness crept in gently, like a curtain falling. The last thing I heard wasn't the machines, or the room, or even her voice. It was her thought, echoing through me like a promise. Then I'll follow you, even if it's in another story. And as the world disappeared, I smiled, because this time the villain got to die loved.